One of the ways I used to get over my nervousness in terms of prepping film is that I would create a lookbook, and that lookbook would just be a collection of images, photographs, what have you, painting, whatever. Sometimes we do music playlists, whatever, and that would help me feel like if I ever need to get bailed out of a situation where I couldn't offer up an idea, I could always flip open the pages of the book and find an image that shows the director what I want to do versus what my mouth couldn't say. Sometimes it's hard to explain to all the departments how dark you want to go, and so in order to show them, you show some images, hundreds and thousands of super talented photographers that are working within that space every day, and so you just have to hunt them down and find them and put them in a book so that you can share with others what it is you actually want to do visually. The larger the films have become, they don't take up as much time as they used to, which used to be, creating a lookbook was just as interesting to me and just as fun as actually making the film, Now I'm really more interested in the process of making the movie because there's actually some things in my sort of like cumulative value as an artist in terms of my practice that I'm continuing to try out and warm up on every film. So some of the ideas around darkness, softness of light, the softness of the image itself that you might find in Arrival or A Most Violent Year, I'm actually bringing to Star Wars, So these are the sort of ideas that I don't have to keep revisiting in lookbooks because my lookbook's basically redundant at this point, presenting pretty much the same artist. What I've tried to do now is get focused on a couple of things, and then those things might not be visual per se, but I try to get focused on a few of those things. Like right now my thing is like, I'm really obsessed with optics because, the Alexa 65 has presented us with a new opportunity to really explore lenses in a way that I haven't had a chance to in, standard 35 imagery because, there are hundreds. There's so many different lenses within the 35 format, and I haven't seen a lot of them. But I identified the ones that I love, and I continue to use those often. And so it was refreshing, in some of the more recent projects to be able to unpack a whole other box of glass manufacturers' lenses that weren't available before because the format didn't allow it. And so now because we have such a large sensor, we're able to sort of dig in places where I haven't dug in before. And so been really obsessed with optics lenses, the idea of opticality, the idea of portraiture, all those things in filmmaking that I've tried in other films with 35 format, but not as much as I've been able to do within the 65 format. It's just a new way of working for me. I really feel like I'm making my first film, because some of these lenses are just totally new for me. And it's also being able to see the difference, the nuance in the glass, whereas, I could tell you the difference between a Cooke S4 and a Super Speed roughly, but I couldn't really break it down to you in terms of with the guts of the lens itself, how it's defining the look of it. Now with the 65 format, because I've been able to be part of the process from the beginning in terms of helping craft glass that would be interesting for the format, it gives me a greater understanding of why lenses are important and the nuance, the look of a lens and how it's different from each piece of glass. Each focal length has its own character, and so where I am now in my development, I'd rather spend my time in prep looking at lenses than pulling images off the internet and making a presentation,